Hey, so in this episode of the show, I want to talk all about motivation and specifically maintaining motivation through this whole process of dieting because it's a long haul, right? And you might start off with motivation being sky high, being through the roof because it's all new, it's exciting, it's something which you're throwing yourself into because you really desperately want to achieve that end result, whether that's to be a little bit leaner, whether it's to be a little bit healthier, build a little bit more muscle, or maybe a mixture of all three. Because you've tried maybe in the past, failed maybe in the past, and now this time it feels like you've got the answers and motivation is high and you really want to make a go of it. But after a few weeks, you kind of realize, well, miracles aren't happening. It's not necessarily the big quick fix you might have thought it was. And now self-doubt starts to creep in. Now negative thoughts start to take over. And you're at this kind of fork in the road, whether it's a case of, okay, am I going to maybe change the program? Am I going to change my training routine? Am I going to opt for a different diet? Is fucking Juice Plus now going to be my method? Or do I just fucking quit? Do I quit? Do I say that this is all too hard, this is all too difficult, I'm losing motivation, I'm losing the ability to kind of really stick at this for any longer, and I'm feeling really drained, demotivated. I'm not seeing the results as quickly as I want. The scale isn't moving. Sometimes it's fucking static for 3-4 days. Sometimes it goes up. I'm just losing motivation with this whole process. And that's a familiar story. So if that is you, you shouldn't really feel like you've been singled out by the gods of fucking dieting as the only person that is never going to make any progress. This is just such a common thing for people to feel, and it's such a common thing to experience. So, and as good as social media is, I think that social media is a great thing because it gives you like access to accurate information, also a lot of shit information, but it gives you access to tons of information, motivational stuff, dieting information, nutritional information, training information that 10 years ago you would never have got. You'd have been going through various different other means and methods and ways of trying to find out what's right and having even less information. But sometimes that abundance of information can lead you to do fuck all basically, or it can just lead you down the wrong path. And also there's this whole thing of people with their perfect bodies and their perfect workouts, and you're seeing they've got amazing 90-day transformations, and you've really got to ask yourself that are they actually inspiring you, or are they causing you to have doubt and plague your mind to say, well, I'm not achieving what they're achieving, so it must be the fact that I'm doing something wrong. And that is the cause of your motivation to take a dip and to take a kind of, go way off track. So there's kind of like 4 things that I think that you really need to focus in on if you want to maintain that you're in this for the long haul and you want to see this through to its conclusion. And the first one is to actually don't rely on motivation, because at the end of the day, motivation is fleeting. It will be there 1 minute, it will be gone the next. At one time, you'll be riding high on this wave of motivation where you feel like nothing can go wrong, nothing can derail you, but then just little things will happen, maybe even other parts of life and things like that that will dent that motivation. And if you rely on that motivation as your fuel to do things, you will find that you will kind of fall off the wagon and you'll maybe go 3-4 weeks or something like that without actually doing anything because you're just waiting for motivation to come that will actually never come. So what you really need to do is focus on the process. Focus on finding something you enjoy and then keep doing that consistently. Because when motivation goes up and down, if you're just relying on the process, I guarantee that taking action that pushes you forward towards your goal will actually reignite that motivation that you are desperately looking for. So focusing on the process and finding something you enjoy is key, Because if you enjoy it, you'll do it, regardless of where your motivation is. Even if you are having a shit day and maybe the scales have gone up several days in a row, if you enjoy the process of going to the gym, working out and doing all of that, maybe socializing in that environment, then you're more likely to do it. And if you keep doing that consistently, you will definitely get towards your goal. Now, the second thing is really important, and that's what mindset are you starting out with? The first question you should ask yourself is, are you really in this for the long haul? A lot of people will say that, yeah, I know this is going to take time. I know I'm not going to achieve my goals overnight. But actually, the first thing they do 2 weeks in is say, well, I'm not achieving my goals. I'm not where I wanted it to be. So therefore, this is shit and I'm doing it all wrong. Well, whoa, hang on a minute. Roll back 2 weeks when you said you were in this for the long haul. Roll back to when you said you knew this was going to take time and you had to be patient. What happened to that? Because that's where you're going to get tested. You're going to get tested at several different points as to what your real mindset is. So be honest with yourself. There's no point just saying stuff just because you think that's the right thing to say. If you are not in this for the long haul and you're still in a quick fix mindset, get that sorted first. Really kind of get it into your head that this will not take weeks. At a minimum, it's going to take months. I mean, as in terms of like when I deal with clients and things like that, my view is that there should be a minimum 3-month commitment to achieving your goal. You might not get to the end result in 3 months, but you'll make significant progress. If you're into this to say, well, I'll try it for a month, don't even bother. Don't even bother starting because you're already in the wrong mindset. You're going to be in a mindset where every day you're going to be looking at scales. You're going to be looking at the changes on those scales. Every week you're going to be looking in the mirror and expecting a miracle six-pack to have appeared. You need to be in this for the long haul. That's the thing you need to focus on. Number 3, one thing I would say is clear out what serves no purpose and doesn't make you happy. And that goes for things like social media, for friends, for your workout routine, for your diet, for all of this sort of stuff. What in your life serves a purpose, so it's good, it's doing something for you, and what makes you happy, so that's good, and that does something for you. Everything else to me is just noise. It's noise that stops you, slows you down, and prevents you from making progress. Now, that can take many different forms. Let's say, for example, you think that the keto diet is the only way for you to lose weight, but it actually makes you fucking miserable because you love carbs. Now, that's just slowing down your progress. It's slowing down your ultimate goal of achieving your weight loss or your whatever goal that you've got and sustaining it. Because as soon as you may lose weight, you may lose body fat on that keto diet, but when you switch back to having carbs and you haven't learned how to manage energy balance and all those different sorts of things, that weight will probably come back on over time and you haven't sustained it. And therefore you'll be back into that yo-yo dieting effect. So if that diet, that method of losing weight isn't making you happy, it's the wrong method for you. If you love keto, great, go do keto. If it's bringing happiness to your life and it's serving a purpose, great, put it in there, go for it, do it. And it also goes to the training regime as well. There's no point doing a fucking shit ton of cardio if you fucking hate it. If you hate it, it's just going to be a chore. And therefore, there are so many other different ways for you to be able to lose weight healthy and to enjoy it, that it's worth experimenting and finding what that method is that's right for you. And then when it comes to social media, maybe it's a case that perpetually looking at everybody else's feed is just playing on you mentally. It's dragging you down. It's, you feel like you're doing the right things and you are doing the right processings. You're going to the gym, you're following your calories, you're eating good foods and all of that sort of things. Not necessarily good and bad foods. I meant nutritious foods. Catch me out there. And you are sticking to your plan as much as you possibly can. But then you look through these feeds, everyone's got 6 packs and on the beach and looking amazing, and you just feel shit. You say, well, this is fucking taking forever. So again, maybe have a clear out. Use that mute function on Instagram to say, mute all of these people from my fucking feed. I don't want to see them. You can unmute them later when you fucking got there. But if someone's not bringing value to you, do you need them? Is that actually hindering you? Kind of make these things, have a spring fucking clean of your social media. And number 4, focus on more than one outcome. What you want to look like, whether that is you want a six-pack, you want more muscle, you want bigger glutes, you want to weigh a certain weight, or whatever it is that you want, focusing on one outcome is not the way to go about it. Because let's put you in the scenario then. You've got this thing where I want to have a six-pack. I want to look like said celebrity dude, or dudette. And that's what you want to achieve. Now, if that's all that you have, that's your only frame of reference for success, let's think that process may take you a year to achieve that. So when you are on week 1 and you've got another 51 weeks to get to that end result, you're going to feel demotivated because it feels so far away. Even when you're a month in, 2 months in, it still feels so far away. You can't really picture, how am I going to get from this, what I look like now, to that? How is that going to happen? You can't see that happening logically because all you've got is a very long-term goal and nothing in between. So what you really want to focus in on are your inputs, those short-term process goals that you can achieve and you can actually start to revel in. So whether that is to go to the gym multiple times per week, whether it's to stick to your calories, whether it's to stick to a step count, whether it's to bring in different habits that are going to help you achieve your goal over time. And they're the sorts of things that you've got to focus in on. And you've actually got to revel in those successes, those things that actually push you forward. You've got to say, I did well. This is awesome. I did all of this stuff and this pushed me to where I want to be. Okay, it's going to take time, but I'm doing all the right things. I am progressing forward. I'm not slipping backwards. Also, focus in on your gratitudes. It's a lot better for you to think about, okay, what have you got and what have you achieved rather than what haven't you got. So it might be a case of, I've lost 4 kilos so far in the last 6 weeks or whatever it is. I've been to the gym X amount of times. I've done all of these different sorts of things. I've maintained an 8,000 per day step count for the last 2 weeks on the trot. What is it that you can focus in on that is a success? That is, I've done this and all of this stuff is accumulating to help me achieve my goal. Rather than just say, well, ignore all of that and just say, I haven't achieved the 6-pack. If that's all you're focusing in on, again, you're in the wrong mindset. And so the other thing is just to say to yourself, are your actions positively improving your life? Not just in terms of are the scales moving, but the sort of mindset that you come into a weight loss process with, a dieting mindset with, really can impact everything in your life. Because if you are coming at it with a view of, okay, I've got a six-pack or bust, then again, you get very demotivated. That impacts how you are around your family, it impacts how you are in your career and things like that, and how motivated or demotivated you may be in all aspects of life. Whereas if you come at it from a very positive mindset to say that these inputs are going really well, I'm doing all these awesome things, that creates a snowball of positivity in the rest of your life. If you are constantly making decisions, whether it's from a dieting perspective, a training perspective, that's actually making you fucking miserable, then you've got to question, are you doing the right things? Because health is about more than what you weigh on the scales. Health is about more than what you look like in the mirror. Health is about, yes, is an element to do with what you weigh, but how you feel about yourself, how mentally healthy you are, how healthy you are in all aspects of life, and how your health from a nutritional point of view and a training point of view is contributing to that overall. So question pretty much everything that you're doing right now. If you feel like you're always running out of motivation, question if are you just relying on waves of motivation just to keep you afloat? Are you starting off with the right mindset that this is actually going to be something that you're in for the long haul? Are you actually clouded by lots of other things that are going on that are just creating noise and unnecessarily pulling you back and slowing you down? And are you just focusing on that one thing that everything else is just not a benefit unless you have that one thing? So that would be how I would start to challenge you to think about motivation while dieting. And don't rely on motivation for dieting for a start. Rely on process. Rely on things that are positively impacting your life, that will help you and keep you moving forward. So hopefully that answered a few questions. And what I please want you to do is, if any of those points that I just went through resonated with you and kind of struck a chord with you, then act on them. Don't just listen to what I've got to say and say, yeah, you got some good points there, Simon. Good points. Cool. And then just in one out there and out the other. I want you to take some action. I want you to put these things in place. Then message me and say, Simon, I listened to what you said about motivation while dieting. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do to try and change how I feel about the whole weight loss process and how I feel about myself and how it's impacting my life. This is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to change things. That's what I want to hear from you. And if you are going to do that, feel free, come and talk to me on Instagram at iron_paradise_fitness and tell me all about it. I really want to hear from you. But for now, all I'm going to say is keep living the lean life, and I'll see you for the next episode of the show.